Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Super Bowl edition of the Smack Attack. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, R to the B to the V, and we are live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel and, of course, on the Twitch also. Now, Rick, funny enough, I didn't mean to put this tune. This is Gary's tune, but nevertheless, who cares? It's ours right now. So what's going on, man? And happy Super Bowl day, I guess, to you, dude.
Hey, we got Gary. Hey, you never know, a guest appearance there. A little dancing Homer as well. That's what it reminds me of back in the day. But hey, Jimmy, hey, I can tell looking at those eyes, you already got that Super Bowl pack. Been hitting it, bro. We're a day away from the biggest football game, American football game of the year. Hey, we also got the Olympics going on, but I'm so glad that everybody is here with us on the Smack Attack because you know what, man? You and I, we've got something special. We're all here to celebrate 1 year, Jimmy. 1 year.
What?
1 year.
Really?
1 year this weekend is when you and I have lasted doing the Smack Attack here, brother.
No way. 1 year. This is the 1 year anniversary
Yep.
of you and I.
I came on board with you last year at the Super Bowl. So we've made it 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to make a wish here.
I hope it's a good one.
Oh, damn, it didn't come true. You're still my co-host.
Oh, damn it. Well, happy anniversary to us. And yeah, that's a big deal, man. You didn't tell me that off the air. And as far as my eyes go, yeah, man, just for anyone that's in the chat, we're running a little late because of myself. I woke up in a heap. And that's why. And if Poz is watching, I'm not stone Poz. I just woke up.
Good. Good. Just RBV out. These brownies got some weed in them. Jimmy's packing Super Bowls. The Olympics underway. Hey, and we've got a lot of talk about in the world of professional wrestling, specifically the Blue brand, man. We got a fun conversation. I think we're gonna run through what happened last night, and we're going to wrap things up. We're going to do a little creative cooking on the back end of this little hashtag RBV Eats Out creative cooking as Jimmy and I kind of sit down and put ourselves in that unreal creative room and start trying to talk about how we would see them, how we would put together this year's WrestleMania card. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But hey, Jimmy, a lot going on here in the world of sports, as you mentioned. Super Bowl kicks off tomorrow here in the States. The Olympics opening ceremonies last night. I was kind of busting your chops in the live chat over there last night, man. The Olympics, not really an Australian, the Winter Olympics, not really an Australian thing.
As it more like a Winter Olympics is something that we don't really care about. Sure, we got participation in it, but like you were telling me in the chat yesterday, pretty much we got a few snowboarders, maybe a few ice skaters.
A lot of snowboarders, actually.
Yeah, well, snowboarding is a kind of thing down here. So funny enough, that does work down here. But other than that, yeah, we play hockey, but we don't really play hockey, if you know what I mean. We do have our own league, but we're not good enough to ever qualify for anything.
Yeah, you're not qualified for the Olympic hockey. And it's kind of weird in the Olympics this year. I was looking at some of the events. And it just doesn't, and especially the hockey, it just doesn't seem like the Winter Olympics without Russia, without having the ultimate heels that are there that everybody is aiming for, that nobody likes,
That's sad.
Yeah, it's like having a WrestleMania without having your top heel there.
Yeah, no, it's true. And they've been barred from sports now for like every sport for like quite a few years at this point. So, hey, Putin. Stop your little thing with Ukraine and you'll be fine. You'll be straight back in.
I think they still should have let them in anyway. We need that ultimate heel, man. Super Bowl, little pro wrestling business to tie into that. But I was kind of checking it out. Always, with the things that we have going on here in the States, I wonder how they impact you down under, man. We know here in the States what the NFL means when it comes to live ratings. And we always make that comparison because in wrestling, well, people don't watch that way anymore. And we're like, well, they watch must-see live television. We see the numbers across the board in the other sports, especially the NFL. But international for this Super Bowl, man, you guys down in Australia, you guys will do 2.6 million.
Shit. That's actually quite high for a country that doesn't really play American football.
Yeah. Some other ones here. So across the board, globally, this is outside of the United States. The Super Bowl will draw over 62.5 million international viewers.
Shit. That's crazy. Do you know what the biggest international audience is other than Canada?
Mexico. No, actually, Canada's not the biggest outside of our borders. Mexico, 24.1 million viewers for the Super Bowl.
No shit.
Then you got Canada at 18.8, Germany at 3.8, Brazil at 2.5, China. Our friends down in China, 6.2 million.
What the fuck? That's crazy. What about the UK?
I didn't have them here, but I got you because I specifically looked up Australia. So you guys are at 2.6 million, which I thought was pretty big. It's carried across your country across 7 networks.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it is becoming, it's always been kind of a big deal here.
Well, I mean, they have globally expanded. You know, you guys are getting a game.
We are. That's right. Next season.
That's going to be a big, big deal down there.
I'll go to it. I'll actually go to that game. And it's happening in my neck of the woods. It's happening in Melbourne.
Have they announced what teams you're getting yet?
I know the LA Rams was one. I can't remember the other team.
Okay, so it's real easy for them to jump on, head down there. But yeah, the Rams are going to be a nice draw down there for you. But yeah, I mean, the NFL, not the most popular, they are the most financially successful major sports league in the world. They know what the hell they're doing. They know all about, and it's still crazy. You know, when I say WWE, when TKO is not in the wrestling business, the NFL is not in the football business. That's a product and a catalyst.
Right.
They are into big time events, distribution, advertising, merchandising. That's that for the office. That's their business plan. So this week, right now, they're having the Super Bowl. It's in the San Francisco area. So the entire sports and entertainment world's kind of ascended there, got things going on. Hey, we got some pro wrestling news to tie in. Radio Row's a big spot there. It's kind of where all the press and media assemble, and you get all the interactions, the interviews, the great players, the movers, the shakers, the advertisers, everybody kind of showing up, doing their thing. So one of the things I'm looking forward to hearing you guys talk about tomorrow on the Wreckage, AEW making some rounds. Obviously, their tie-ins with the Khan family owning the Jaguars. But Tony Khan himself announced he was on Radio Row, and AEW has reached a deal with the NFL, some licensing agreement for merchandise. On the NFL draft, they are going to launch AEW-themed NFL for every team lucha mask.
God. Can I say, Rick, is this a good idea for lucha masks?
Yeah, I think it is a tremendous idea. And I'm going to give him some credit here. I don't want to just pick on him here. I think this is long overdue. When this news kind of broke and over in our producers chat, Colin had brought this up, and Ben was like, Rick and I laid out this plan on a Monday locker room like 3 years ago. And they're just finally getting around to something like this.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
But you can poke a little fun at them, because AEW's running out. Well, we're doing lucha mask. Well, the competition, they're going to sell lucha masks for $40 to $50. The competition's selling $400 NFL replica championships. So
right,
you're kind of behind, trailing a little bit there. But I will give it to him. I mean, when you go to the NFL games, it's fun to party. And lucha masks are unique. They stand out. And it's something, again, that could be affordable to everybody there. So I think it's great for them. I just hope to God it's a much higher quality. And the one that Tony showed doesn't show too much promise than that damn White Castle one that they had. That thing was god awful. Yeah, it was terrible. Hammer in the house, baby. Love to see it. But yeah, I mean, the White Castle one, it looked so bad. I was excited when I saw they were going to launch that thing, man. I was going to go get one. It was like $50. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I I could go over to my work at ASAP Apparel, get a gang sheet of White Castle logos, and just press them on some tighty-whitey underwear and tie that around my head. And that would be better looking.
That's what I was going to say.
Than the lucha mask that they got going on. So you know what I would do here if I was Tony Khan, AEW, I got this great new deal to sell these lucha masks with them. I'd reach out to the fans and have them submit their own designs for each team so that they look kind of unique. And as you got the NFL logo on there, sure as hell, make sure that you are prominently displaying the AEW logo as well. So when people see those things, yes. And then when you're there at the draft, because the NFL draft, back in the day, it was just, they would hold it in New York and you'd have small groups of fans show up. I mean, the Giants were representing because it was in New York. Now it's a traveling show. They come take over cities. They had over 100,000 people in Green Bay last year for that.
Wow.
And it's like every team sends fans there. So they should just flood that city with those masks, so that you're everywhere. So when ESPN, when all those coverage outlets are sitting there showing that, boom, there's those AEW masks showing the different teams that are being represented. When the players are coming off, present them with an AEW gift pack that has like an NFL themed hoodie, sweatshirt with the mask, things like that.
COVID mask too, even if you want.
Right. Well, WWE is there, and it probably is easier for WWE to get that kind of deal because now they are, they're bed with ESPN, who covers the draft. But no, last couple of years, Kofi Kingston, I believe, did it last year. Everybody that got drafted in the first round. So let's say, my Bengals, our first round draft pick, when he walked off the stage, they do like all this big row of like photo ops. Kofi Kingston presented them with a WWE belt for that team.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
See, that's cool, man.
When the draft was in Chicago, Seth, a big Chicago fan, he was there. Speaking of, we had a little run in on Radio Row. Seth Rollins ran into MJF. They were having a little fun doing social media stuff. They were both representing their brand. So I think making the rounds, you had Tony, you had MJF was there, Mercedes Moné, and Britt Baker sighting. She was there for some odd reason. But
and Tony Khan was actually asked about Brooke Baker, and then apparently she will probably turn up sometime this year.
Yeah. I said sooner than later, but he didn't want to give away date or anything like that, a surprise. So little teaser to have Britt back there. I know a lot of people have been missing her. Now, on the other side of things, the big dogs, the Sharks, they were swimming at Super Bowl Radio Row. Top of the dogs at TKO, Ari and Shapiro were making the rounds. And they're just talking about big things. I caught their interview over on Pat Mack, and listen to those two talk, man. They're so good. They are so slick. And again, they are operating on another level, and you got to really listen to them because they're so slick. They know how to talk, man. They'll move and groove you. But Shapiro laying it out there and pretty much telling you what the WWE is. They are an events and experience. Puppy Bowl, Jerome. Thank you, brother. Hitting it up.
Did you know what that means? I'm gonna do it. I have to do it, man. I have to do it.
And what we got over here? A cup of potatoes. A cup of potatoes.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar.
Shout out to Big Ray for that one. And J Rome for life. Thank you once again for the $5 super sticker, man. Really appreciate it, bro. Yeah, for life. Appreciate it.
Listen to those guys talk. A couple of months ago, remember when they broke down TKO? They had all these spinoffs when Endeavor broke off into all these different branches.
Right.
Well, they started kind of talking about that. Like, so when they mean events and experiences, they want to own all of that. Like, they're even buying like the culinary side so that they can control the food that goes into these events and these experiences. The music side, they know how to wrap everything together here. And they laid it out there. What I've been screaming, they got that blueprint from TKO. It started with bull riding. They bought the UFC. Yeah, that was their first one. They
started with bull riding.
That was their first one that they bought. Was a professional bull riding.
Didn't know that.
And then they got UFC. Then they said, all right, now let's go get WWE. Now they're launching here this boxing promotion that Dana White and Nick Khan are working on, which is going to be pretty damn cool. Seems pretty unique in its setup here. But they broke off in these other companies so they can buy these other outlets as well. So they're going to have their hand completely inside of this, man. So pretty cool to see them there. Just, hey, out there making their rounds, man.
Good on them, man. I mean, shit. They are big sharks, don't get me wrong. And now everybody's talking more than ever that they're going to sell it off to the Saudis eventually. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But good luck to them. I just don't like the ticket prices, guys. Bring that a little down. And apparently, they actually have for WrestleMania. The ticket prices have gone slightly down.
They're dropping a little bit. I mean, right now, we regularly look at their business model. We could talk about, what's broken with the fix. I don't think it's broke within it in their vision. It's working exactly how they want.
Mm-hmm.
You cut out that bottom to raise your higher end. I know
You're
Cody
right.
Rhodes recently, Cody's saying, Cody, the politician that he is out there kissing the baby, saying all the right things, talking about how he wished that house shows would come back. In their vision, that's not happening because then that lowers the value of your premium events. They're called premium live events for a reason because they want premium pricing inside of those. But I do think inside a company, they are realizing that they're going to have to pull back here a little bit because, man, they were really, really hijacking, hammering SOBs over some of these prices. And especially going back to Vegas to double dip that, I think, a lot of the people that were going there probably already ponied up, blew that nut.
Well, the good news is there's only 7,000 tickets as of us doing the show left for WrestleMania. So I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out.
That's fine itself, but they got all that other shit they got to sell.
Right, that's true. So we'll see. But next year is not what I'm looking forward to. That's going to be first the truly sold WrestleMania event ever.
But it's gonna be so unique to watch that, to see how they handle it with the other spectacles, with the travel. Like, are people really going to travel that? We all watched the Rumble, and it was hard to see that audience. There a little bit. That wasn't like a mass travel, and I'm still not sure that audience was still a lot more brown than they look like me and you coming from around the world.
You're a character. Well, there was a few. I did see a few vlogs, believe it or not, of Americans going over to Saudi Arabia. And one dude particularly, I kid you not, the second he got there, you know what he said? I miss home. I just want to go home. Why am I here? That was the first thing. Right off the airplane, dude. Like, he just wanted to go back home.
So I don't know. So we'll see how they get there. But they're doing some business there for the big game tomorrow, Super Bowl, AEW as well. So hey, kudos to them, man. They're doing something. He's out there trying. Tony doesn't usually do that.
Yeah,
he usually thinks his wrestling is over. He's in his little bubble. He thinks he's cool because he's got the reins over there.
Yeah, no doubt, man. The only thing about Tony, man, he goes to the safe countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes to Australia and the UK. And Canada.
And you should. Why? I mean, why push anything else? He knows where his bread and butter is. He knows his markets and things like that.
Right.
I think he would be more advised maybe to try some of the B and C markets that have been left behind by WWE. But I mean, I'm just talking about that he's out there pushing the word of WWE, of AEW.
I agree, 100%.
Brantley say we still got Elimination Chamber for Mania. I had to remind you guys of that last night on SmackDown. Everybody looking forward to WrestleMania. We have got Chamber coming up here. We're about 10 weeks out from WrestleMania. Chamber around the corner, and they're going to the Windy City. So they're going to have a big one there.
That will definitely never happen. This ain't Texas. WWE haven't even gone to Tasmania.
So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Elimination Chamber as we get set up there. Hey, it does seem, doesn't it? It's kind of funny already. It seems that they, obviously with the Royal Rumble being a bot show, maybe they didn't want to talk about it as much because of where it was at, but they're coming heavy already with this Elimination Chamber push.
As they should.
And they're just letting us know that the event is there, where it's at, where the ticket packages and things like that are. It's like, they realize this isn't a bot show for them. Even though it's in a hot market like Chicago, they got to put a little effort into letting the people know what the hell's going on with it.
No, absolutely. And as they should, because the Rumble, they didn't give a shit at all. And like you said, that was a bull show, but it didn't feel that special, even watching it, dude, to be honest. So they better start pushing away with Elimination Chamber because it's going to feel more important probably this year than the Rumble did.
Yeah, well, we'll see what we got going on because we're going to start the set up, Jimmy. We're going to jump into it. We're going to break it down. Blue Brand coming at you. WWE was live last night. We were in, Flair Country, baby. Flair Country, USA, Charlotte, North Carolina. But, Jimmy, absent on this show, brother. Why no Shar Shar? Why no Shar Shar on this?
That's a good question. Why no Shar Shar? Maybe she was taking a break after, she did wrestle in Saudi, so it could be that.
Maybe she was getting a little bit of her ass cut off to put into her lips. Maybe she did a dark segment or something like that.
I'll go with what you said first.
But you'd think you'd want something here that tie-in. A little excitement there, just the extra activities, the woo, the big pop that they go for there. So we don't have Shar Shar. I'm disappointed. I put her on the thumbnail because we're in Charlotte. I figured we'd get a highlighted segment with Charlotte. Maybe we'd even get a run in from Charlotte, but she said to hell with it. They didn't have put her on the show. She said she's staying in the closet here in the studio. But we do have this advertised. We got not one, but two Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. We got a women's tag team championship bout. And we got all sorts of Rumble fallout, Jimmy. Before we jump into this thing, we're excited. Everything. You had the big weekend, man. You were clocking them hours last week. You did the watch long, did the review, did the Raw breakdown, man. You filled it. You helped me out. You did the Monday locker room for me there, man. You got to talk to everybody here on the platform in the
literally
every angle about the Rumble. So for these fallout shows, we saw what happened. The big announcement on Monday. We know one of our main events there for WrestleMania to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. What were your expectations here, giving yourself a couple days to breathe going into SmackDown last night?
That's actually a great point and a good question. I'm kind of excited. I'm actually looking forward to the Punk Roman Reigns matchup. I think that's the right move, to be honest. I mean, it makes sense. Like Roman Reigns says, I'm not picking you because I want that battle or anything like that. I'm picking you because I hate you, right? Which was such a great line because, it makes total sense. So I'm actually quite excited for that matchup. Everything else, I need to sort of see what's going on. I mean, obviously, you drew, and we'll get to that anyway, but I'm excited.
We're going to break it down. So again, stick with us for our little creative cooking on the back end of the show. We're going to be talking about maybe what's going through creatives' minds and laying out here this rest of this WrestleMania card. But there's some developments here on SmackDown are going to play into that. That's kind of why I want to throw that on the back end of the show. Going into this SmackDown, again, going back to Raw, we know that main event. I was thinking, man, poor Drew, he's got to bounce back from kind of getting lit up in that promo. Who cares about that championship? Who cares? And that's, right. That is what was the title that Roman even said that he built as the top title, the legacy in WWE right now. And Drew was really an afterthought between these two. I kind of felt bad for the guy, kind of a story of Drew's career here. And it didn't start off too well. It didn't really go all that great for him on this show here, Jimmy. I mean, he's out here. He's got that smug look to get SmackDown going, looking to get things started off for us. And boom, Cody Rhodes. Apparently, Cody and apparently his big old one-eyed snake are on the attack here, brother.
I mean, can I show you which Cody Rhodes it was?
Yeah, let's get. Hey, this is the man that equals equality in the world.
Wait a minute, is that Raheem?
He says it. That's what he says, right? Raheem. That's what Brandy calls the old one-eyed snake, the tripod, the third legger down there for Cody Rhodes. Look, Cody's on the attack. And Cody says, hey, man, he ain't going to have this anymore. It's going to be on site. He's coming after Drew. He wants that opportunity. Poor Drew here. So Cody, they get separated. Cody's told he's going to be in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. That's his shot to get that back, but he's got to get out of the building. So Drew's thinking, later in the show, all right, I got Cody out of here. Now I'm going to go out there and air my grievances. I got to talk to this audience. Wrong. Here comes Jacob Fatu, ripping him apart. He's attacked again. I got to tell you, it popped me when Drew couldn't even get his second go around there.
He does get it eventually.
Not a good night for Drew. He goes out there for take two. And again, boom, Jacob Fatu whooping that ass. Kind of the same thing as Cody. Aldis says, hey, man, you'll get an opportunity. You can get your hands on. You can go for that championship. Do whatever you want to do. We got to make it official. You just got to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Take care of business there. I need you out of a building. Finally, Drew gets the words in to defend himself with the Roman and Punk confrontation that we saw on Raw. Drew pretty much here. You know, he's going through the greats and he's comparing himself to being that workhorse, to being the guy that wasn't a part-timer, that didn't take the ball and go home when things weren't going his way. Drew saying he was the guy that was there when no one else could be there because they were locked down. He stuck around and carried it forward. He's been waiting for his moment, even though he's been screwed time after time.
Which he has.
I thought he did a nice job here of recovering and covering his ass after the promo and the things that were cut on him on Monday night.
Yeah, no, definitely. 100%. He's done good enough. I mean, but you know what's annoying though, Rick? Have you noticed this is a trend every year with putting one of the champs down? You know what I mean? Like, I think 2 years ago was Seth Rollins. If you remember what Roman said about that bout at that press conference the day before WrestleMania, if you remember.
About the World Heavyweight Championship?
Right. And now here you are with Roman going after that same championship anyway. And now they're belittling the WWE Championship, which is really the be-all, end-all in that company. Which is the one that Drew McIntyre actually has.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you're going to talk up the ones you're with, the one your show represents. So I thought Drew did a pretty good job there.
He did.
In bouncing back there, reestablish yourself. Hey, I still am a top guy here.
Yep.
You know, it's just not about what's going on with those other guys. So we get that kind of that exchange there. Now, what's really interesting to me here, I mean, we've known Cody's got it out for him. You know, maybe we thought, are they going to kind of go separate ways? But, you know, Drew eliminates Cody at the Rumble to make sure that he stays down on the bottom, can't come back after him. Fatu, the werewolf's been on the hunt, as he still claims, we don't have any proof that it was Drew that attacked him, messed up his grill all those months ago. Still have that there. What's very interesting, though, is one of the matches they set up this week that we're going to get next week, doing a little business. You want that hook. We got another Elimination Chamber qualifying match next week. It's going to be Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Because I think for a lot of us, we would have figured at least two of the three, if not all three of these, would have been participants inside of the chamber. That's not to say this is the end all be all for this match, because you could have like a second chance, second shot, last spot sort of deal down the road. But I think this is a good hook to get people excited to come back next week for this thing. Again, you're going to have Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn next week for a spot inside Elimination Chamber. And I want to hold on to that thought, because we're gonna be talking about these three when we start talking about building that WrestleMania card.
Right.
Which is going to be interesting.
I will say this. Is there a chance that Cody doesn't make it to Elimination Chamber and takes a little break?
Well, it's one of the things we can hold on to those ideas.
Right.
Can we write him off a little bit? Where does that fit into Mania? So for the chat, as we go through this thing, start thinking to help us out with some of the conversation when we get into that WrestleMania card here.
Right.
But speaking of Sami Zayn, how about sad old Sami Zayn on this one, man? He was down in the dumps last night on SmackDown. Hey, and he's been in the news this week. The dirt sheet as well, Jimmy. I know you guys were hot talking about this last night in the watch along with Let's Go Brandon.
Yep.
Sami Zayn, obviously at the Rumble, fell short in his quest. What a big win that would have been for him. You know, over there with that Muslim faith over there in Saudi to win that thing. And I guess the news tied in with this is, Sami was pushing hard to win that thing. And you guys kind of mocked him over that. I didn't understand that. To me, and Hammer, Weigh in on this thing with us, brother.
Oh, he
You've
loves
been there.
Sami Zayn. He called me up
Well,
yesterday
no,
telling me he's the biggest fan.
It's just not Sami Zayn, but anybody that has been in a meeting with talent, they are going to push themselves to get over. They want to because they know it means going up the card. It means more potential pay. It means more support from the company. So these people that are mocking Sami Zayn for pushing himself to win a match in a moment that would have been huge, monumental for not just himself, but for the product, for those big pops that they want, for the audience over there. Yes. Why wouldn't he make that pitch? I mean, what issues do you have with the cab driver trying to get over?
The cab driver. You're a character, Rick. First of all, I did tip initially.
What are you sipping on? Is that Pepto-Bismol or are you taking a shot?
It's a short black coffee. We call them short blacks over here.
Well,
I don't know what you guys call it.
You know what Brandy calls Cody, a long black.
Sure, a lot of black, right? but in all seriousness,
she likes hers black, stiff, and long.
Oh, yeah, pal. But anyway, I did feel that Sammy was going to win. I did say that initially at the Rumble I'm talking about, but he didn't. And yeah, look, I was taking the piss last night, but I'll say this: it makes total sense why he would have pitched for him to win, because it would have made sense for him to win there. But is he champion material? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I get him pushing himself there. If there was going to be the moment, I think Saudi was it. The Royal would have been the time. I know Big Ray was hot on that because he bought into it. I mean, that would have been a big pop there for it. I don't really know where you go with Sammy in this thing. He's kind of an odd bird out. And when we get to that WrestleMania talk here, I don't know if there's really a spot for him.
Can I ask you a serious question about him, actually? Do you think he's damaged goods at this point? Do you think he should go away for a little bit?
I don't want to get it. I don't want to go to the same cliche, the WWE, how we fix people is by making them disappear.
True.
I'm more of a how can we fix it in real time? Right. But with him, maybe if you could write him off as a break, I still think there's still a lot of money being left on the table. I don't think it happens right now because there's other similar circumstances. But the El Generico pop run there, but
that would pop me.
There's potentially some things you could do with Kevin Owens on his comeback, but again, it's kind of going back to that same. We got to find something unique if you're going to revisit those two, because it's just regular. It's the same old when those two come back together. Sammy's an odd bird inside of that when you're having that conversation about what you, like ever seen, man. It's like an ostrich. Yeah. He's that odd looking, just kind of sometimes just best with his head stuck in the sand.
Well, Zayn thinks
we'll see.
Sammy's done and took too many breaks, which he kind of has.
Yeah. It's just that underdog. Does he get there? But even if he does, I just don't think there's enough crossover appeal with him. That Rumble would have been that moment for him.
No, but
we do know.
Sorry, Rick. I just want to ask one more question. Is it his fault that there's no crossover anymore with him because he's leaning towards his Arab faith and all that?
No, I think that he realizes, yes, that is the end for him. That is the hook because they're trying to grow into that market. He's a great catch for that large audience, for those big bot shows. If he can rally that audience around him, I think Sammy's probably pretty damn smart in realizing that and making those pitches because he isn't going to work anywhere else. The guy doesn't necessarily have tremendous hand to have in the ring, doesn't have star power, doesn't have that at all.
That's a great point.
Let's talk about one of the advertised chamber qualifiers, the men's side, and there was a lot of stars involved in this one. Sitting at ringside. Let's start the conversation right here. The gentleman sitting at ringside because he even introduced himself to Drew McIntyre. He's telling everybody backstage how good he is here. Rick Williams was sitting at ringside for this match, man. Again, we talk about star power. He just continues to shine here.
He's the man. He really is. He's killing it.
Did you happen to notice this, Mr. Hoops? Talking basketball. He compared Who was he talking? Oh, Sami Zayn he said, you're the guy that can get to the playoffs but can't win it. Compared him to the round mound of rebound, Charles Barkley, when Trick said, I'm Michael Jordan. I'm the guy that gets the championship. Was
Charles
Trick
Barkley
even
is a
alive
great
when Jordan
player.
was Trick alive when Jordan and
When
Barkley were
Barkley?
in their prime?
Probably not, because he's pretty friggin' young. So yeah, I don't think he was.
That was one of the first things that jumped out to me. Was like, damn, Trick referencing a little pre his time, and it wasn't using modern players. He went a little old school.
He must have older brothers or something like that, man, for him to know all that shit. Or he loves basketball to the point where he knows his history.
Right, man. So I mean that popped me a little bit, but Trick there at ringside. But the match itself, this is another big name, man. This is one of those names where Sammy might be on the outs. This is a name that's on your list of where do we put at WrestleMania? We got to find something for him. Randy Orton solidifies his spot inside of the chamber as he goes over Solo Sikoa and Aleister Black. Pretty fun little match back and forth here. Solo didn't have the My Family Tree there to help him out. He's on his own out there, but I thought he looked pretty good. You get what you get from Black. But of course, I think we all really knew where this was going. Randy gets that big win.
And that was obvious. I mean, I was even saying on the watch along, I mean, Orton's going to win this. Black is just there to make the numbers. Yeah, I mean, Orton had to win this match. How serious is he going to be going into Elimination Chamber and maybe Mania? We'll find out.
I'm going to talk about that when we come up here because chat think on this one. What about Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania?
As a night one main event, possibly?
Yeah. Somewhere night one.
Well,
just put it in mind right now. I think there's possibilities there.
Okay. I mean, assuming Cody goes away maybe for Elimination Chamber, because I got a feeling that's going to happen. I don't know why.
Here's one of the things with Cody. A little teaser for a conversation here in a little bit. Ben talks about this. Stevie talks about this. Vets talked about this. You've been all listening to our platform here. It's been preached to us for going on 10 years. That once you've elevated, a great champion has lost that spot, the next big phase of their career needs to be something extremely personal. Cody Rhodes needs to elevate beyond the championship right now. He needs a very personal program. Something where he's not involved, just we should care about him because he's chasing gold. You need something more for that than Cody right now.
Okay, Jacob, for example.
Jacob Fatu could be the answer there. Those two could go into Vegas with a very personal feud and have it be one of those fun matches that could happen on a casino floor or something like that.
Yeah, for
where it's
sure.
all out, all, pun intended here, all in, show your hand. Let's go out and have Drew do something else. The question there would be, think on this, is who would face Drew? Randy, definitely one of those big possibilities for that major star power. Those guys will go out there and do something cool. You could also tie back around here for a big WrestleMania moment where Randy Orton beats Drew McIntyre with a little help from Jelly Roll, going back into playing in to the SummerSlam stuff.
And then what? We get Drew going after Jelly Roll in the future, possibly? And then they have a match?
You look at WrestleMania, you want those big tie-ins. And Jelly Roll continues to be hot. Tore it up at the Grammys there last week. Shows a very big commitment. And he would love to be a part of something like WrestleMania. Something there to think about here. So I'm not counting Orton out inside that chamber. I think he can still be a big time draw for WrestleMania. So honestly, that's the guys.
I think you make sense. I don't think we're going to see Cody and Jacob actually being in the Elimination Chamber. I got a feeling it will be Orton and Drew. And then you got the other matchup that gets made right on the spot between Jacob and Cody in a somehow, Falls Count Anywhere match or whatever. Something along those lines where it's real personal, and we can go all over the casinos, which would be pretty cool if they did that. But we'll wait and see what happens.
Something there. We'll save that for that, so as we start laying things out there. So on the women's side, we had a Elimination Chamber qualifier. This is one of those, they just made her disappear for so long, but she is back. We saw her make a run there in the Rumble. What time is it, Jimmy? It's kitty time. Tiffany Stratton.
She looks great, by the way.
Tiffany Stratton is back. You could tell she was taking care of herself. She didn't just relax, sit on the couch, stay in tone. looked good while she was away, looked good in her Rumble return. She goes over Miss Chelsea Green and Lash Legend. I thought a lot of this match itself was a lot of fun from the character work that you're getting here from Chelsea. Lash still so green in that, but such a star, great star power. Way she's flaunting there. Chelsea, pop with the little newspaper stuff and the headlines about how she's being wronged and all that. Again, she goes out there, looks like a star. I want to go back and give a shout out to the vet. Him and Ray had a great conversation on Next Level this past week about, the continued conversation about Michael P.S. Hayes saying, Chelsea is not the star. She puts over the stars. Vet broke that down amazingly. Usually there are people that are in that role, but unlike the usual suspects for that, Chelsea continues to outshine the stars she's trying to make.
100%. She turns chicken shit into chicken salad. You know what I mean? But how do we know that this wasn't all done anyway? Like you said, the fans were behind Chelsea. This could all be done by design, obviously, to get Chelsea even more over, especially maybe as a baby face in the future.
You had this conversation Monday with Ben. And he said, do you really trust and believe that those idiots are this good?
I have that's the problem, because they should be a lot better than what they are.
It is going to backfire on them, because you're seeing this crowd. They are, after that aired and the conversations being had now, they're starting to rally a little bit more behind Chelsea, which they already were beginning to, because again, she's so good. When she comes out, the elaborate suits, the entrances, the little gimmicks, the subtleties, the character work, that's so amazing that she brings to the table. They're all rallying behind that. So when they are forced to give her an opportunity, they're gonna backtrack and be like, "Oh, we got you. We told you that we." But then you know what? When they do that, then they're telling us Unreal's will work. So now they're gonna they're gonna shoot that project in the foot.
Well, come on. I mean, it has to be a half a work at the very least.
Nah, Unreal's just a piece of crap programming thing that exposes some terrible shit with them.
I can't even watch the whole of season 2 still yet.
I got through it, but I don't know. So like we did get so we got Kitty time. Tiffany, she's going to be heading to the chamber. She's ready to go back. She wants another WrestleMania moment. She beat Char last year for that big one. We're going to find out who's going to be joining her. We got another qualifier next week. I'm going to need your help on this one. So we got an announcement of Alexa Bliss, Julia, and who's the third? I just completely spaced on this in my notes. I wrote verse I forgot.
You know what? I don't recall who the third one was either.
I know it's Bliss, it's Julia, and for the I even went to try to look for it. So find it, you can yell at us there. But we're gonna get another one there. So it'll be interesting to see who's gonna be the next edition there.
Yeah, let me just see that.
I do think it is interesting with this women's qualifier. You're getting a lot of these tag teams are going to have some interaction in there that we've got. So a lot of focus. I know they're chasing an opportunity for a women's title shot at WrestleMania, single shot at WrestleMania, but a lot of tag team interaction. So they're overlapping a lot of these divisions for these storylines. But speaking of, Jimmy, we did have a women's tag team championship match. Go ahead.
I don't think we do have a third one yet.
No, there was 3 of them there, wasn't there?
No. Oh, in the match you're talking about?
They're announced for next week. I know it's Bliss, it's Julia, and life of me, I cannot remember who the other one was.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was a real quick graphic that they just popped up. It wasn't like in a segment or a setup or anything. They just did next week announced, and it was a graphic of them. I remember Julia with the belt.
In the chat, can you tell us, because I missed that
if anybody knows, it's not worth spending that much time on them. Might have been a Kabuki Warrior. It's Zelina. All right. That's how much it matters. Zelina's there to eat the pin next week.
Wow. Thank you, Zane. Zelina, really?
Thank you.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's who it is. Now that he says it, I can picture the graphic. But we do have a women's tag team championship match. That was actually what got our action going in the ring last night. Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai. They go over here on Svengulia in person boots.
Did you just say Vangulia?
Svengulia, yes. So the champ and her intellectual
this is a good match.
Was a little fun match.
I thought this was the match of the night, honestly.
I know Hammer He was ready to drop the hammer over there on person boots, man. He's all over Kiana James there, saying she's a little hidden gem to be keeping your eye on. He was over in the chat watching that. Yeah, but more and more, I think we're just getting a lot of interaction with all around across the board here from the women. So, yeah, U.S. champ and person boots, they lose here, but a good little outing for them.
It was a great match. A great match.
Ripley and Io, they say, hey, they're the champs. They're going to ride this wave all the way to WrestleMania. We're keep thinking on that. We're going to save that. We're not going to jump in with this. We got some conversation to do with a lot of these very talented women, and only so many spots on that WrestleMania card here. Ripley is going to be involved in a chamber qualifier on Raw. You guys will talk about that on I Like It Raw. But the champs retain there in a big tag match. But wait, Jimmy, there is more taco tag wrestling action coming at you on this show. We got Liv Morgan, the greatest Royal Rumble winner ever. She's in the house. She is here on SmackDown. She wants to talk about WrestleMania. She's out in the ring. Of course, she is joined by Big Mama Sexy, whatever the hell they call her this week. Raquel Rodriguez is with her. They kind of a little tension still going on there between them. From Liv eliminating her, Rodriguez doesn't get her big win in that Philly street fight on Monday. They want to air that out, but we don't get that. We don't. Go ahead.
We'll get something. Surely they can't just leave this alone. Or unless come Mania, does Raquel screw Liv on winning the championship? Who knows? But
I think it is a major mistake to split them up. Big time mistake right now.
It's too soon. I totally agree with you.
They don't have an opportunity to talk about the elephant in the room because storms are coming.
Yeah.
Here comes the champ. I got to tell you,
muscle quits, huh?
If you are Liv Morgan, wouldn't you have to be absolutely insane to choose Jade Cargill?
Yeah, I mean, Jade Cargill would be the last chick I would pick if I was Liv Morgan, but hey.
I did think kind of interesting there, a little nose to nose there between Jade and Raquel. Seeing them kind of
an interesting match, actually.
Stand toe to toe there. That was kind of interesting, but not to be outdone when it comes to muscles. Here comes Jordan Grace. She's saying, Liv, hold on with your choice, because if I can get Jade to stop being a bitch and give me a shot, you ain't going to be choosing. You're going to have an option to choose her. I'm going to be the other option. I'm going to put Big Jade down. I'm going to take that belt if she gives me that opportunity. We got four top women in the ring. Jimmy, man, the only thing we were missing was Teddy Long. Player, holla, holla. Can we get a tag team match?
I'm glad you brought up Teddy Long, because I actually played some of his famous moments yesterday on the watch along towards the end. Because you remember when he was going around calling every white dude a cracker?
Cracker? All right.
Yeah. Or like the Heartbreak Cracker, for example.
Heartbreak Cracker?
Which made me laugh. He called Shawn Michaels to his face.
The
Heartbreak Cracker.
Cincinnati chili is great with crackers.
I'm sure it is.
It is. So we get a tag team, a makeshift tag team match here from Aldis. We have got the champ, Jade Cargill, against the big guns, pun intended, that's gunning for her, Jordan Grace. Right. And then you've got Judgment Day on the other side here. Little sloppy match. I don't think anyone was expecting any sort of masterpiece here. It's short, kind of get some business done here. But we do have Cargill and Grace going over on the Judgment Day ladies.
Zane, shut up. By the way.
There we go. I don't know what he said, but
just in the chat goes Jimmy trying to justify his racism.
A lot. All right. So a lot of things there happening here on SmackDown for the women's side of things. At one point, you guys couldn't even remember the guys' stuff in the live chat. You just remembered all this ladies action. It was ladies night a little bit. But we did have, we'd already talked about the men's chamber qualifier. We talked about what's going on with the main event scene there. We got some other men's stuff to run down here. How about a little weekly update U.S. Championship Open Challenge. This one we see Carmelo Hayes and the Little Dragon talking in the back. Miz is in there as well. He's got an interaction with Little Dragon. Miz just telling him, hey, slow your roll. You think everything's about going 100 miles per hour, intensity through the roof. Sometimes you got to be smarter than that. So it is Miz here that comes out and challenges Carmelo Hayes. Again, thank you guys. Thank you, WWE, for booking this in the first hour. You know, instead of letting all this other developments, let's go out there, do a little wrestling, you know, get, you know, this kind of mid-card thing, give it a spot where it can shine before everything else starts unfolding here. This happens early. And as we anticipate Carmelo Hayes with a win over the Miz.
Can we stop with these open challenges at this point? It's getting boring.
Yes. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, but I think we are going to get these through WrestleMania. Where we get a big title change there. Hey, please. Jimmy, I thought that's why you were picking up more review shows here, because not only do you have to talk about open challenges here on the Smack Attack, now you have to talk about open challenges on the Wreckage, because we got Ciampa over at AEW doing open challenges.
Why though? But why? I don't know about you. I don't know if you watched Dynamite at all, but that was an atrocious show, man. I felt I couldn't stand that damn show.
I watched it. I'm going to watch Collision tonight, and I might join you guys tomorrow.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure you are going to join us actually for that Wreckage, since also the professor is out on assignment this week and next week.
NBA trade deadline. He got sent to another country.
Yeah. Keep a kayfabe though, Rick.
Yeah. Crack Baby Basketball League. Went got the professor. Got traded.
Oh shit.
Drop it in short blacks. So yeah, the open challenge there. Miz is out. Hey, I do want to say, Miz and R-Truth did a little info commercial spot here on the show to remind people here domestically that SmackDown for 2 weeks is going to be moving to the Sci-Fi channel for the next 2 weeks. So it was a little fun exchange between those two. And I was just sitting there thinking about how much I would love to see those two in like I know we don't have straight to DVD anymore, but like a low budget streaming, like immediate streaming release of those guys doing like a buddy cop film together, I think would be hilarious.
That'd be good.
I think that would be freaking hilarious, but it's got to be like D-level production. Like it's got to be like the cheesiest freaking thing in the world, man. Something that would back in the day would have been straight to DVD sort of thing.
If finding DVDs is still a thing.
Truth and Miz. You know what? Let's just make it a DVD. That's how corny and old school it's going to be.
You can do that easy.
I got a feeling you might be interested in this one. I got some questions for you about this next match here, man. This is a Far East Battle of the Beast. There's been something working here, Jimmy. There's some kind of story going on here. You're a little more in tune in what's going on over on your side of the world, Japan there, your neighbor. Tama Tonga over Shinsuke Nakamura and brother. Tama Tonga and the My Family Tree, they freaking beat down Shinsuke in this thing, man. It looked like they were even working stiff on him, man. He was taking some shots in there.
But what to now? What's going to happen? Shinsuke is going to become Super Nakamura and get revenge? Like he's been getting some beatdowns.
Or is this, all right, so my question's for you here. I think, where could this be leading? Are we getting one, you got Shinsuke kind of taking it the hard way here. Tama Tonga getting a little bit of a push there. It seems like they're showing some fire under him. There's been some exchanges between these two about the good old days. Does this open a door for Evil, who's rumored to be on his way?
You know what? He could.
Hasn't there been some rumors of maybe the Ace coming over for a short run?
No way. There's no way the Ace. And when you say the Ace, are you talking about the man right behind me there? That's the Ace.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You had him blocked for me. Yeah. I thought you were pointing at the Pac-Man people, but yeah, the Ace.
No. Yeah. No. He's not. He's retired, man. He's cut his hair too, by the way.
Okay,
he's done. I think he's done.
Shit. Got his hair.
No, he looks different. He's going all corporate now. That match everyone wanted to see, and I say that lightly because not everyone wanted to see it, but everyone always compared him to him wrestling John Cena, and I don't think that's ever going to happen ever again. Right, the two
It was
aces.
kind of a shame that he couldn't get Shinsuke one more time. Just heard some rumblings, maybe.
But as far as Evil goes, there is strong talk that he's going to sign with WWE. He did resign from New Japan Pro Wrestling. As a matter of fact, there's a whole bunch.
New Japan hurting.
They're hurting, dude. They're hurting bad, and I feel bad for the company as a whole because for whatever reason, everyone's leaving in droves, and they can't keep their wrestlers under contract for whatever reason. And Kevin Marty, who's the ace? It's Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, just so you know. But yeah, I think Evil, it could be a good chance. Even though Nakamura and Evil don't really intertwine per se, it could be a good chance that we do bring him along. And if he does, he's good, dude. I'm telling you now, Evil is so much better. If you've ever seen him in the past, he might seem a little tacky to you because he's like, everything is evil, right? That's what he says. But trust me, he's a great freaking worker, man, and I like his look.
All right. I was just curious, though, if they're setting something up here for some play in between the two of them. All right. Well, they beat the shit out of Shinsuke.
That's just simple as that. Where do we go with Shinsuke, though? Yeah, that's
well, I mean, it was a gang beating, so it's something to look forward to there. Jimmy, we'll wrap up our SmackDown Blue Brand talk here with. I popped for this. This is probably one of my biggest pops in a long time. This is my heart-warming moment of the night. Obafemi might have committed a hate crime.
This is great. Love this, man. And the crowd were just going along with it too, bro.
Kit Kat out there talking about toxic masculinity, how he wasn't allowed to be in the Rumble because they were so threatened by how real he is. He challenged anyone that was in there. And if he's shaking his hips, we get to walk. We're walking. And
everyone's like, ooh,
Kit wasn't walking after this thing. This thing goes all about 30 seconds, and it was the most magnificent 30 seconds of professional wrestling I have seen in a long time.
Absolutely
destroys this dude.
But you know what's good? I'm going to give kudos to Mr. Kit Kat also, as you like to call him, Rick.
Kitty Cat.
He was great in his promo too, by the way. I think he hit it at the park, the promo. I'm starting to actually dig him now. I actually quite liked it, and then Obafemi coming along on top of that was the cherry on the Kit Kat for me, because that just took it even further. But poor little Kit Wilson, I've got a feeling he's going to start getting over with the fan base. The fans are starting to like him, dude.
A little bit because it's a different act. They like that absurdity, but let's not kid ourselves and everyone get ahead of themselves saying that he needs some kind of push. This is exactly where it needs to be.
I'm not saying
getting his ass beat.
Yeah, no.
Getting his ass beat. I think they were smart not to send Cordona out there to maybe split that audience because he was getting some people behind him, but immediately that crowd went to Oba because they knew what was going to happen.
Oh man, the whole fans, what were they chanting like? What were they saying? I forgot. But as he's walking, they were like, going along with him too. So
we had the Oba chants because I wasn't expecting him at first, and then I heard the crowd, and I was like, wait, I kind of perked up, and I was like, are they going to do this? And like, yes, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was good. And they say I sounded like him. I don't have a British accent. Please. Okay, Zane. I can't even do it. I tried.
Jimmy Cat.
Yeah, Jimmy Cat.
Stand up, Jimmy. Man. Stand up, Jimmy, and shake your hips for everybody.
No, that's all right. I'm going to shake my hips right now, but I should. You can call me Big J after that.
Yeah. Nah, there's only one Big J.
Oh, speaking of, what's it called? Big E actually announced his retirement, by the way. I forgot about that. So he's done and dusted officially now, man, which is kind of sad, but
hope for good things for Big E. I hope he kind of opens the door, maybe something at ESPN. That guy's great what he does now with the show panels and all that. I think he'd be great helping out with like some College Game Day or something like that. Hype sports for ESPN. So Jimmy, that is our SmackDown review here on the Smack Attack, brother. So hey, we're full gear going in towards the Elimination Chamber. So I think there was some good wrestling here on this show. We've talked about here. We've got some intriguing things happen. We got some hooks for next week for some chamber qualifying matches that we've got. So let's head on into the kitchen here, Jimmy. let's head into the kitchen for a little creative cooking.
Creative cooking.
You want to be that short? You want to be that short black guy that's in there in the room, or do you want to be like Road Dogg, who just looks like he just wants to blow his brains out?
Yeah, definitely not Road Dogg.
Which one do you want to be there when they go into Unreal and then they're sitting around that creative table with the master genius? But let's start looking.
Road Dogg just sits there saying things and without any ending to it. So he'd be like, "I've got an idea, blah 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 blah," and then Triple H would be like, "Okay, good. So then what?" And
Okay,
he'd be like,
so
"I don't know."
Let's start this conversation. All right, for the chat, man. Let's get some involvement here. Let's have some fun with this about where we're at putting together WrestleMania Vegas. We know we have one match on the table. We have Roman Reigns, CM Punk, which I think is a great opener, a great night 2 main event. 2 of your biggest stars in the company, plenty of tie-in, plenty of things to reference back. This thing sells here.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing about this. This is the exact match you want for WrestleMania.
I think what is to look at this. Let's look at the strategies, because what WrestleMania and booking a major show like that has evolved over the years. Back in the day, early on when WrestleMania was created, there was wrestling shows that were drawing outside before the creation of. So WrestleMania was intended to take that base and cross it over, to go mainstream, to go bigger, larger, outside of the box than ever before. They had shows where Hogan and Andre run the undercard, Bruno and God damn it, his mentor, Sabisco, were headlining Shea, and they were selling out Shea Stadium. WrestleMania was like, okay, we gotta somehow go over that threshold. That's why you got the celebrity involvement, Mr. T, Muhammad Ali, Liberace, the Rock and Wrestling Connection. And you would build back then around 1 or 2 big marquee draws. WrestleMania 3 was all about Hogan, Andre, delivering the wrestling with Steamboat and Macho.
Right.
But
and
it
also
would be uncommon.
Hogan, Warrior.
Right. And you had a few things, on that undercard. But back then it would still be, you might have 14 matches, but only 2 of them might go over 10 minutes. Curtain to curtain.
Yeah, well, makes sense, right? I mean, shit.
So, but nowadays, WrestleMania as a brand has evolved so much, they'll damn near sell that thing out before a single match is announced, where that wasn't the case.
No, because the brand is way more over now than any of the wrestlers are. Hence why, everybody goes. When you hear WrestleMania, you just want to go to it, right? Doesn't matter what the card is.
Well, and it used to be so important to get on a WrestleMania card back in the day, not because of the prestige of, oh my God, this is, when everybody's watching. It was because of the payday.
Exactly.
Now, the payday structure has also changed as soon as the introduction of the WWE Network, and as soon as WWE moved away from the traditional closed circuit pay-per-view system. So those paydays aren't as important. Warrior Hogan, that one night, they both made $1 million payout.
At least, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. So Roman and Punk aren't negotiating their payouts now. They've got their contract set in. So your philosophies, your strategies, when you start looking at a card now for WrestleManias, are going to be much different. Now, I've never had to put together anything like the magnitude of WrestleMania, but we've put together shows for the companies I've worked for where they were like a WrestleMania for us, because we had to make a bank on it. These were our make or break shows for us if we were going to continue running. Not necessarily the thing with WWE, but this needs to be their grandest spectacle. This is what they go show potential business-to-business networking, sponsors, streaming services, international distribution deals. I don't know what you're trying to hide. We can all hear you fucking sparking that thing.
Just give me a moment, but yeah.
So, but as you go through, but then you start looking at who are the top stars, who are we featuring right now that we need to have on this show. Then you look at some of your stories where they've been at, and hopefully you've started this a while ago, especially for your top tier matches, and you started this build. But you've always got to be ready for curveballs. And in watching Unreal, this whole, we start a year out. I believe that used to be back in the day when you only had to focus on 1 or 2 matches. I don't think we've seen on Unreal, they're doing it 2 weeks out.
Yeah, it's not good, man.
So it's just kind of weird, where they're at here. So again, one of the biggest things is looking at who the top stars are, who's going to be on the show without over flooding it, if that makes sense, with too much shit.
Well, it is a challenge when you think about it, booking it the way they book it these days without over flooding it, which is a key aspect with what you just said. It would look, man. We like to like blame the creative for being slack and whatnot. Look, I'm not going to say it's all their fault. It's mainly Triple H and maybe a couple others being undecided on shit and just not knowing where to go with certain stuff. But maybe having less cooks in the kitchen would actually solve that problem, though, Rick. If they had about 3 of them like they used to, maybe they can plan ahead like they used to back in the day. Unlike now, when they've got how many chefs in the kitchen and everyone's spitballing all the time.
So, you know, a lot more talent. Maybe if you had people that were specifically focused on certain areas, like, you know, you're on this creative side, but you are focusing on women's singles titles or women's tag or something like that.
Right.
Or if you know, and I look in there and I always say, you know, they say they go get these amazing Hollywood writers. Well, where? You know, I don't see anyone with the resume of a Ben Hamin that understands, you know, the actual ins and outs that has made a career, you know, have been involved in stage and theater, improv, all of, you know, the theatric side of that since they were kids. We don't see that, you know, just because you came through the wrestling side and those old tropes work, you got to understand why they make sense.
Absolutely. You're right. I mean, they just, you know what the thing is now, I don't know if they're stifled pretty much, the creative team, but like you said, wouldn't it be better having certain guys and girls, of course, concentrate on certain aspects, one person for the tag team, one person for this, one person for that? Wouldn't it make more sense to do it like that instead of them all just getting in a room, which I don't believe how they're all so polite with each other. That screams bullshit to me when we watch that on Unreal. You telling me it's just that cordial in there?
I've sat, you know, in a different level. I've sat in those meetings,
right?
And they can get pretty heated.
Exactly.
And I, you know, maybe I'll spend a little bit about this on Monday to tell you know, because you know when he was writing with OVW, a lot of that was in those guys' apartment. So they're all living together, they're hanging out,
right?
So I wonder, you know, how hunky dory, you know, everything was cool back then, or did they hit some heated spots where like we got to take a break here? When I was working with PWA, I got forced to be in a position working with a dude that I'll just say I relate to how Cornette probably feels about Russo, because that's how I feel about this guy.
Okay,
like there was times in the room we'd be having a meeting and I would just kind of start. They thought I was daydreaming, but I was like zoning out, looking for like a weapon to use to hit this guy because he irritated me so much. Had no idea, no sense of logic about anything inside the business, and it was one of those. So, but like when you're preparing a meal, like you've got the guys that are doing the mains, you got guys that are doing desserts, you guys that are doing salads.
Right.
So you have a head chef that coordinates all of that.
Exactly, which would be Triple H,
which it should be. You know, and that's so you have these other meetings, and then you go to that main meeting with him to lay out the menu, everything like that. So we got one of our championship bouts. I think we both agree we like the match, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
That 100% I agree with. You couldn't book a better match with this roster right now.
All right. On the other side of that, we teased it. We talked about this. Drew McIntyre, WWE Universal Champion. Right now, top contenders who he's dealing with, Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes. A lot of rumblings here. To me, a triple threat would be like the easiest answer. But I'm not.
That was the rumor too, right?
Yeah, but I'm just not a big triple threat for the championship at WrestleMania. I like that traditional one-on-one here. I would like to see Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu in their own match. Something very personal, something very heated. That also gives you a spin-out challenger after.
Right. You can move on to continue even on to Backlash after that.
Right. So as we said though, what about Randy Orton?
I like that idea. I mean, you could have gone, like you said, that triple threat match, but I'm with you. I don't think that's a great idea.
To me, that's too easy and lazy.
It's too easy, right? It is lazy. It's just literally lazy. It's just the obvious thing to do. But if you want to like have star power for WrestleMania, you put Orton and Drew as the world title match, and then you have also Cody versus Jacob Fatu in a Falls Count Anywhere match or whatever match you want to do with them two, because it's a
very
personal match.
high stakes.
Right.
Let's start.
Exactly.
What about some other names here for Drew? You also got, because you got Randy chasing 14. He's looking for something there. What about other? What if you go in here with a big time match for Drew and you do Obafemi?
That would be awesome. Excuse me, but there's no reason to do that. They haven't done anything to even go that way yet. So I wouldn't.
What? We had a stare down with him at the scene of retirement.
I know, but that's just a stare down. They didn't do anything after that to really pay it off.
Two big dogs. That is a time. If you want to really introduce Oba, man, here's something very, very special.
I would love that, but they wouldn't do that. And if it was up to me, I would have pre-planned that a little bit from that.
Laurie asking, would you have go over Drew? I could go either way on it, really. I really could.
If you want the feel good sort of aspect of it, absolutely, you go with Orton. But do you do Drew like this quickly? I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It would be 4.5 months, 4.5, 5 months of a title reign for Drew. Is it really that long already? Come WrestleMania, that long? WrestleMania is the middle of April. We're 10 weeks until we're there.
Damn, it doesn't feel that long, dude, for some reason. It actually doesn't. But yeah, I mean, interesting. Okay, yeah, then if it's that long of a run, why not? I'm just used to everybody now holding that damn belt for at least half a year, it feels like, at the very least. So, yeah, I mean.
So we got those names there. I'm with you here. But just, I think that Cody and Jacob should spin off in their own thing. Cody does not need to be in a title picture right now. We need to move, and he needs to elevate to why we care about him besides being a champion. We need something very personal, and I think it's Fatu on his rise keeps him away from the title to a big payoff run there, but keeps those guys in a high-profile spot. Again, we're keeping our eye on who could challenge Drew McIntyre. We've said Randy Orton, maybe Femi, throwing out those names there. Here's another must-have big name that kind of ties into this, though, high-profile spot. Gunther, and he right now is ending careers right now. Right. So you would think an easy transition maybe for Gunther, career killer versus legend killer Randy Orton. We've for years everybody's been talking about Gunther versus Brock Lesnar.
That would be great.
Both of those tie into the career killer.
Yeah, but that's why you got to have him apart for now, because you don't know when he wants to go. I know apparently this is going to be his last year, according to the dirty sheets. But you wait a little bit for that.
I could see Brock coming out and saying, hey, you like to end careers. How about you try ending mine? Let's see what you got here. Randy could tie into that, but it pulls him away. So you got to find that big Gunther match.
But he's Orton. But would Orton be the final boss of that? Because legend killer, career killer, would you have him as that final boss to end that final guy?
I think the final career killer would probably be a Lesnar, because he's beating everybody else up.
Right.
You also could throw Ray in there at some point with a career thing.
Ray?
Potentially. So there's that, that to look at.
Actually, Ray's a good idea for Mania, I think, to go at it first.
All right, so good. Let's talk about Ray then, because I had an idea here for Ray. I want to throw by you here. I think this would be big. I would think maybe a good night 2 match here would be the AAA Mega Championship and Intercontinental Championship, hair versus mask, Dirty Dom Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio.
That would be great, man. But would you have, say Mysterio loses, obviously, just say.
Which one? One of them. Mysterio has.
I'm talking about the little one, Puppy Mysterio. Just say he lost. Would you have Mysterio, still in WWE maskless?
I think you have father wins.
Okay, and have Dom actually lose his hair.
And if you look now, because Dom's got it really grown out, he's got
it looks good. Though, man,
everything has really grown out. The hair is a little too long on that. You got a great story there. You're highlighting Lucha Libre, AAA, on the big stage here. Got the IC championship in there that Ray has had some great runs with. Remember, going back to early on when Dominic was chasing this thing, it was that his dad, not only did his dad not win it, he never had an opportunity because of weight classes back then were so strict.
Right. Yep.
Rey
True.
Mysterio full circle at WrestleMania and capture the Mega Championship with all these stipulations, and then and Dirty Dom, who's got the ultimate embarrassment, he's got to trim all that hair off and cut his beard and all this. Going back, to
Oh my God. I mean, it's intriguing. I like the sound of it.
I think that one would be a good one, but
it's a feel-good moment for sure too.
Here's another catch to that. I think that's a bigger match with the hair versus mask stipulation, but I know there's one out there that people really are into, and that's the Americana mask versus mask. But I think you do that at Elimination Chamber.
You don't want two of the same type of matches,
right? So you don't do it
at
you can't do that at WrestleMania. I think the Americana thing, why that is fun for a lot of us in the bubble, that's like low card stuff.
It is. But that's not their fault. That's the way they've been booked.
I'm not yelling at the talent, but that's the reality of it.
Right.
No one really knows who the hell the Americana guys are. I think that's something, and as the chat mentioned over there, I told you guys last night, everyone's jumping to WrestleMania. We still got to book, you still got to have some matches at Elimination Chamber. I think that's a fun undercard match at Elimination Chamber.
One could be a Lucha Fiesta, apparently, Zane says.
Yeah. All right. So we were kind of backtrack here. So, with the Ray thing, he could be tied into the Legend Killer with Gunther, Orton, Lesnar. We still need to, who's going to be that with Drew. Let's talk Brock Lesnar. Well, how would you feel if they pulled the trigger and did Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
I'm cool with it, but you know what? I wouldn't put Oba over Brock just yet. I'd actually have him lose this match if you go that way.
No, you can't.
I would.
Obafemi lose right now.
You mean, why not? You can't. Then that match doesn't make sense then to me, because it won't hurt. It wouldn't hurt Oba if he lost to Brock.
Not only should Obafemi not be losing matches, he shouldn't be bumping for people right now.
Then don't have this match yet. Let that happen maybe a year down the road. Or later on this year.
What do you do with Obafemi here at WrestleMania?
Have him kill a whole bunch of little luchadors even. That would be fun. Why not?
So maybe you don't even have Obafemi on the WrestleMania card. Maybe you have him at SmackDown win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, just decimating eliminate everybody.
That's a great start. But how about you bring it back to Mania and let him win at Mania?
Because you still got to have things for SmackDown Raw. They're all right there in Vegas, all in that thing. So you're going to have some of those things.
It doesn't hurt Oba either way, man. Even if they do that and put him in the Andre the Giant Invitational Battle Royal, whatever it is. Well, actually, Zane brings up a great question, and we forgot about him too. Powerhouse Hobbs. He should be maybe the one that wins that.
I would have, because I think Oba is more of a WWE guy right now. We recognize him. We've seen him. I would have Oba somewhere involved, perhaps against a Brock Lesnar, going over a Lesnar at Mania. And like Zane saying, I'd have Powerhouse Hobbs, Mr. Keys, win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown.
That one makes more sense, actually. What Zane said with with Keys to win that and just introduce him to the people, that would be a not bad start, absolutely. But actually, Kevin Murray though says
perfectly it is. Hey, reading my mind. This was my next topic here. I read my freaking mind on this one, brother. I think you got to have this. I think this is a great night one match. Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams for the United States Championship. And I think that's where you have Trick put Hayes down, take that belt, and stop this open challenge BS.
Yeah, where he's like, I don't want to challenge that, but it's my belt. I'm holding on to it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you don't know. No, he's not saying, and it's not because he's worried about wrestling people. It's, hey,
he doesn't need to.
You gotta earn me. You just don't get an opportunity at Trick. You got to earn stepping up to the champ here. That's I think that's you get a great backstory if you tie in everything with those guys from NXT, but you got to be able to tell that there. I think Carmelo versus Trick is going to be a great undercard match. I like that on night one, but somewhere in WrestleMania.
Oh no, it has to be on the Mania card for sure, whether it's night one or night two.
Yeah, so a lot of options there for the guys. Before we go to the girls, let's stick with the guys here for this conversation. I think there's a lot to play out because there's a lot of working parts here.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do with the Vision and Seth Rollins?
That's a great question, man. That's a good one because they lost this past week on Raw. Surprisingly.
Yeah, a little
That's a good
shenanigans
question.
with it. It wasn't like they were
Right.
actually, put down, but we're getting some, I don't know, some
Who do you put him
deception,
against at this
mistrust,
point, though, man?
I had wrote down because this stupid thing popped me. We got the Vision, Breaker, Reed, Theory, and Paul. And then I was going to have Seth Rollins get his own team together. And I was going to call them Seth's Quest. So we had Vision Quest.
Vision Quest. Come on now. That's a bit,
And I was going to have Rollins lead a team to take on the Vision. Like in a 4-on-4 and maybe anything, something, but 4-on-4 style match here. Do you do Breaker versus Rollins? Here's my biggest thing is we talk about, dude. You got people involved here. I don't necessarily need Bronson Reed or Austin Theory on a WrestleMania card. They don't need that.
Austin Theory.
They're not
Bronson
high profile enough.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, no, that's not going to happen. Pierce is not going to wrestle anybody. Why?
And if he
it
does,
just wouldn't make sense.
It's just not a great WrestleMania match for Braun Breaker.
And he'll get munched.
Adam Pearce. I mean, that's like something you just do like on Raw the week before, something like that.
I don't see him wrestling anyway in general, even though they're teasing it. It's not going to happen. I don't think he gets
If there's the one-on-one, I think it's Breaker Rollins. But here's the wild card in that. Then you've got to find something for Logan Paul.
Shit, I forgot about Logan. No,
You're not going to have one of the biggest influencers. Your biggest star is a guy that's getting over here, making a commitment.
Because they haven't really done a clear path with these guys, I feel like going into WrestleMania, it's real hard. Like, where do you put Logan Paul? Who do you have him face right now?
That's why I was thinking the Vision as a team taking on Rollins' team. Then again, with Rollins, we'd have to go who were going to be the three people with him. That's where I would get some celebrity involvement. Maybe go get Bad Bunny.
Well, I'm hearing Bad Bunny's going to be back at Backlash after this in Puerto Rico. So
maybe you set something up there. Maybe he does something at Mania, and then he comes back. Maybe Rollins on his team gets Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, and then we have a Paul moment.
Paul versus Paul. I mean,
why not? It could work, but I think if you're going to do that, have Jake Paul turn on Rollins in the middle of the match, though. Because he's always going to be with his brother.
No, they wouldn't be on the team together. They'd be against, all right, they join forces.
Against each other?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant as in Rollins.
Yeah, because Logan Paul would be on the Vision team, and then Jake Paul would be on Rollins' team.
That's what I'm talking about.
So then you're saying they team up at some point.
Yeah, and then he turns. Right, exactly.
Something there.
I mean, can you imagine the Paul brothers as tag team champions in the Heat?
I would think, if we could get there, if we could get the Paul brothers as a tag team on this show.
That'd be great.
Early pitch I thought would be great to see them versus the Mysterios if we could get Dirty Dom and Ray together before WrestleMania somehow.
You got to wait till at least SummerSlam because you don't want to just get them.
I think it's 10 weeks away, but that does quick to just squash all their
right. You can't do that yet. Brian Dunlop has got a suggestion when we get there. Triple threat between Keith Wilson and Heath Slater.
That's too big. That's too big for WrestleMania. I can't even contain that matchup. That's too big for WrestleMania.
And so when Alex Wright, why not, huh? Since we're going to have all these dancing queens in there.
Let's talk some, I'm going to do this here. How about this for a men's tag team match? Everything on the table. Not on the table. Not everything. Both divisions. Not on the table. Hanging above the ring.
Oh,
and just
not on the pole.
Not just the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. How about the TNA Championships? TLC winner takes all. The Usos, the New Day, Javon Evans, Mr. Slater. We're also going to put the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys in that match.
Oof. I mean, that's a WrestleMania match, and that's a good way to start off WrestleMania too, when you think about it.
I would have that night 2 starting it off.
Right.
Because when it comes to tag wrestling in a very crowded women's division, how about we make a little history and we have the first ever women's tag team TLC match, right? Night 1 start things off.
Wow, man, they better be good. That's all I'm saying. If you
Rhea,
want to go that way,
Rhea and Io versus Charlotte and Bliss versus Jackson Lash
oof.
versus Sven Julia in Person Boots versus the Kabuki Warriors versus the Bellas.
Shit, someone's getting hurt in that match. I guarantee it. Especially with the Bellas in it, I could just see shit going wrong. But I'd like to see it. Why not? Can they do it though? Would they be able to live up to
I'd
open?
I'd open Mania with it. Let the Glades go out there. Be the first women's tag team TLC, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think it's ever been done before. Not that I can remember.
And with these women's divisions, you've got a lot of women, quality women here for stuff to do with. So that gets the big group of women out of the way. Night one, let them go out there, do something major. We're all about these women's historic moments, opportunity to steal a show, set the tone. We've got the women's singles matches. Liv and Stephanie, that's the much smarter match, right? It's a better sell, better chemistry, styles that work together inside. Hey, Laurie, imagine how bad he's saying Bella's over strong, baby. Imagine the IWC's heads freaking exploding if the Bellas won a TLC match against Rhea,
God,
Charlotte Bliss, Jackson Lash, Julia and James, and the Kabuki Warriors, and the Bellas won that. People's heads would be freaking exploding.
My head would definitely explode if that was to happen, because there's no way they could win a freaking ladder match or a TLC match for that matter. It'd be funny though. If you want to really get heat on these women, that's the way you do it, right?
Ooh, you know what? I like Zane's idea there. With that TLC, I was just thinking some nostalgia
That's
stuff.
logical.
Get the Dudleys and the Hardys in. I think that one's better. You got the bloodline stuff tied in. You're not overcomplicating things. Let the ladies have the TLC match. Let that really shine. I like that one, Zane. We'll put that as our my family tree in a WrestleMania spot. Then we'll give it to them because the Usos deserve it there. Who represents my family tree though? I think Solo's got to be one of them.
Yep, and then just have the two have Tama and Talatunga.
No, you can only get two. Would you have Tala?
Oh, then shit. Anyone but Tamatonga then, because he's got his thing with Nakamura. So anyone else from the group, you can insert with Solo, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So all right. So then we both agree. Liv and Raquel, Stephanie. I'm sorry, Liv and Stephanie. The care. Say what Marty's saying there. I think that's your other one. It's got to be Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair.
But Bella needs to come back by Elimination Chamber and win the chamber for this to happen, though.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Because you kind of have yourself booked into a corner, because if Liv chooses one, then the chamber winner is going to get Jade.
Yeah. So that's why it'd make more sense with Belair to come in, win that, and then it writes itself.
And I looked up to, doesn't seem like Naomi. She can maybe make an appearance, but it doesn't look she'll have any. The baby should be arriving around that time.
I'm worried for her and Jimmy. If you notice, Jimmy hasn't been around lately, and there has been a complication with her pregnancy, apparently. And that's why we haven't seen Jimmy around either. So are the Usos going to have a tag match come WrestleMania? Who knows?
No, it's something to keep an eye on there. So you got all these women going on here. There's one that we definitely is one of those must have on the show. Becky Lynch. What do we do with Becky?
Absolutely. Right now, I mean,
I think we just go with a classic.
I know we
go back to that for WrestleMania. I would actually go back to just a classic. How about Becky Lynch versus Bayley? And we'll throw her a bone. We'll throw her some seed. Bird Girl can ref the match.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting. I can see Becky losing too, just say. And then we go back to her and Bird Girl.
I can see.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Give Bayley a moment there.
She's on the way out, I think, though.
I know, but she had that moment taken from her last year. This is kind of a last hurrah on that. So, I mean, does Bayley not get a WrestleMania spot? as we're sitting here talking with all these women here, I've realized, and it's kind of my notes, I've left titty time out.
Well, again, right now, since she just came back, there's no path set for her just yet. So we got to wait and see what happens with her in the coming weeks.
Does she not have, and this gets into having enough spots for everybody. Some of the names I've left off here. Regularly sing the praise. Chelsea Green, I wish she was the top women's star, one of them, but she's not. So her standing, to me, doesn't warrant a WrestleMania spot right now. She does something on SmackDown the night before.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Have you noticed we haven't said a word while we're talking about this card about Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Where the hell does he fit into anything?
Yeah, again, we need to see what's the path for him too going forward.
But saying, like, if we keep Girl and Bailey together and put them in that women's TLC, then who is then does that maybe put Tiffy time versus Becky?
But why?
Well, I mean, we could start building to that, though. You start talking about a WrestleMania legacy of going there and winning big matches, capturing championships for Tiffy. She did it last year. She beat Charlotte for a title at WrestleMania. How do we fall? Let's run it back by beating another 4 horsewoman. Have her beat Becky a year later for the women's IC title. That might work. She's fine in the conversation. I would say, Girl and Bailey, you're going to the women's TLC. And then we're going to do Titty Time and Big Time Bex.
That'll be a great match. It'd
Titty Time versus No Titty Becky.
No Titty Becky. We got tits versus no tits. Interesting.
Yeah. Thank God Tiffy's got tits for both of them.
More than enough.
Hey, maybe Becky and AJ Lee.
What's going on with AJ Lee? That's another thing, man.
That just popped in my head. So I mean, that's got to be, if AJ Lee's available, that's probably immediately on their board, right? For the IC title.
But didn't she sign a contract? Correct me if I'm wrong. We saw this on television too. Like on some, or it could have been on YouTube, but they showed a video of her signing a WWE contract. Yet we haven't seen nothing since her match.
Well, we don't know what was in the contract.
That's true. That's true. But if you're going to show that, we're all assuming that she's going to be there in the long term.
Yeah, I think U.S. women's match, I don't think anyone cares about that. It's one of those things that would probably be on SmackDown than it would be on the show itself.
Are they going to have pre-show matches, you think, this year?
They haven't had them in a while.
All right. Well,
and I think that's because because they want to save those matches, because you need to sell those tickets and draws at their shows.
True. Would you put the Bellas as tag champs?
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. People's fucking heads would explode. If we had a TLC match like that, oh my God, people's heads would freaking explode.
It'll get people talking for the wrong reasons, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it for the heat, for sure.
I don't know whose hot tub they're getting in to get that booking decision, but.
Well, I mean, seeing after EO jumped on Triple H, I mean, who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think, when you put yourself, instead of just laying out the card, when you start looking at all these, it's kind of interesting to try to figure out, how do things work? Where do they fit in at? There's a lot of options, though.
I mean, and that would be the part where you wouldn't be sure on what to do with things according to the what do you call it? The creative team. I mean, when you got that much to play with, it would be hard to maintain everybody. I mean, we got to, be clear on that too. I mean, it's easy for us to spitball right now, but when you got so much, I'm sure it'll be challenging, especially if the wrestlers themselves might get upset with you for not booking them. You
can't. You got to look at what's best for the business here.
Right,
and,
exactly.
People have been doing pretty good by that is strong. That's why you're not seeing the wrestlers in those meetings. And if they feel slighted with it, you're going to have that. And you're going to have them talking shit about your decisions like that. That day, you got to look at who's doing the best business for you. Who's going to get this stuff over? For them, it's like for the big, who's going to hit our objectives, so our big pops, our big moments, our memories like that.
Right.
You also inside us, it's just not about filling the arena there. That gate there is very important to WWE, but more so than that, they have fulfillments for their distribution. They need to create that viewership number, especially what's going to be very telling right now for this WrestleMania. And Shapiro and Ari talked about that on Pat McAfee show, and as they also were making the rounds at Radio Row, is getting more focused on their partnership with ESPN.
As they should, because ESPN just shit on them all the time.
And this is the one right now where this is what they were selling. You know, these are smaller shows that we got. Wait till WrestleMania. You know, this has to be the blockbuster to get people tuned in.
For sure. And I mean, if they don't get huge numbers on ESPN with this, I'd be worried.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of talent there, a lot of possibilities. Let's see where they go.
That's it? Is there we got any more matches?
I went through everybody, man.
Wow.
Talked about all the top names we kind of left out. That would give us about 6 one night, 5 the other.
Wow. So 6 on one night, 5 on the other. Do you think that would be the cards roughly? Like, is in that many numbers? Like 6 and 5?
Somewhere they've been going like 6 to 6. You know, they've been going back and forth. I went 6 and 5 just in how I had it laid out, just to keep that Sunday. I think they should go home a little shorter on Sunday.
Did they do that last year? Did they go 3? Yeah, I was going to ask you, did they go 3 hours and 4 hours last year? If you remember, did they ever do that?
I can't remember the time. I do remember because we did the watch along. Remember, because we got called to the HR office because we didn't do a review right after because we were like, the hell with this. Because we was like,
yeah, we're pissed off.
It was so bad. The finish was so bad. We're like, screw this.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I remember that clearly. I can't believe it's already been a year. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Maybe we're missing out a couple of matches, possibly. But yeah, I like that. Like, I like that amount. I want both lines to be 3 hours each, personally. And if it's like that, then it'll be 6.
Well, then you have all the filler. You know, we're gonna have here. You know, then there's other things. You know, I think it's just important to talk about, which I think a lot of fans try to crap on. But for me, when we talk about events and experience, crossover appeal, maximizing our draw, we got to talk about guest hosts. We got to talk about musical appearances. We got to work in where we put our Hall of Famers and all of that.
You're right.
And those are brief. You've got returns. What legends do we have coming back? Who can stone cold drunkenly assault with a ATV this year?
Ari Emanuel will be the best one, or Nick Khan.
Well, yeah. So what we could just scrap. I got an idea here, man. With all this conversation we had, and this, I can't believe we missed out on this.
What?
Ready for night one. Greatest WrestleMania ever. Ready? Night one. The best of the game. We just have 6 of his greatest matches ever.
Oh my God.
Triple H. Night 2.
All Triple H all the time.
Yep. Night 2. Get ready for this. The even better best of Triple H.
You know what would happen? Everybody will literally, I'm telling you that will go.
What celebrities can we get involved? I hope with ESPN and this thing airing on ESPN that we're really reaching out and getting some cool crossover appeal here for like this thing. I expect Jelly Roll to have a big part in it this year, as he should. Post Malone, hopefully can get Bad Bunny coming in. Bad Bunny is a huge topic here in the States right now. People pissed off that he's going to be the halftime performer.
I don't know why. I've seen that shit. Why would people be pissed off? Because he's going to be seen in Spanish?
Well, I don't even know what these. There's some people say he's going to come out in a wedding dress, like to push, a
wedding dress.
Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about the halftime show?
That's usually the halftime show.
No, the hell, no. That
what we need to do?
Halftime shows when you go outside, smoke a joint, go to the bathroom, get some food, do shots. I can't even remember the last halftime show that I watched, but the Bud Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't really give a shit. And I mean, I've seen a few halftime shows, but I really don't care about it. Big deal.
Oh, people are up in arms, man.
Yeah, some people go there just for that, which is bizarre to me. But in saying that,
it's a draw. It's a huge draw. The commercials, it's everything. It's an event and an experience.
You know what we should do though, Rick? We should do a halftime HMG halftime show.
I won't be doing anything. I'll just be sitting here.
Let's do it. Let's do a 20-minute little freaking rundown. Maybe we'll consider it. We'll see. I think that's a great idea. Just to get in on it.
We'll talk about it. But for anyway, we're at a $140 here. Let's go ahead and send it on home. I know you got to get ready. Big show coming up here later tonight for you. I'll let you talk about that, and then we got the record tomorrow.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. Me and myself and Brandon will be talking all things lunacy in our new show, Insanity, where we review obviously JCW. I'm actually looking forward to that. That's tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, with myself and Brandon. So don't miss out on that. We've got all the new graphics up. I'm making a new theme for that. It's going to be rocking, no doubt about it. And of course, as you said, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, myself and the vet, and hopefully RBV also, will be doing that wreckage.
Yeah, I want to talk especially news with you guys on it. I picked Vet's brain on some of this, maybe deep dive a little bit more into this NFL partnership.
He will. I don't know if he cares. He doesn't care about the NFL anymore.
I know, but it's still brand growth, them branching out. What else we got? I know there was like 2 or 3 big AEW news things. Oh, the OnlyFans bitch exposing business.
Yeah, what's up with that?
We'll talk about it tomorrow. That's why I want to save all that. And then there was something else that happened.
There's a few. We'll get our news right for that. But
and they're getting ready for a big show coming your way next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And one other thing, Todd, he's technically American by being born in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Just saying.
All right, just out of here.
We're getting out of here. We're doing the scoot.
Yep.
Have you got anything going on actually before we go?
No, I'm hungry. I want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hungry, but still, man, I think I'm going to hit the sack for a little bit longer and then I'll wake up for, obviously. Well, what'd you look at me like that for, Rick? God damn it. Anyway, hit the sack, pal. Anyway, in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is R to the B to the V, and you're listening and watching the Smack Attack.
Gotta hit it before we get out of
here. Live right here on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel, and also go and check out our Patreon after the fact. Till next time, much love and peace. See yous.
Hit it. Do it.